Welcome back to Absolutely, and today we got some interesting news that I wanted to bring in two of my cohorts for. My name is Benny, that is Hassan, and that is Sal. And today I'd like to discuss, hey guys, you know what superhero movies need? Wacky and silly adventures, because apparently that's what the Marvels is.
What? It's wacky. It's a wacky, silly adventure.
Yeah, you had a vacation last week, so you missed the news. The director for the Marvels came out and said that people are burnt out on superhero movies, but don't worry, the Marvels is wacky and silly.
Yeah, I'm the target demographic for that. That sounds great. A wacky, silly adventure. Is it with three characters that I know really well and love a lot?
No, it's with
Oh.
one character that is divisive to begin with, and then
Okay.
two characters that popped up in TV shows.
Yeah.
Oh, well, good thing I watch all the movies for work, or else why else would I do that? TV shows are awful.
Like,
Oh,
Yeah.
man.
dude, I read that statement and I'm like, no, that's been the problem. We have an entire phase of wacky and silly. Can we
Yeah.
just have a superhero movie?
Yeah. For a change, we're gonna make things like low stakes and wacky and silly. Look, I'm down for a superhero movie, like a $300 million movie.
And
that
Marvels
is
looks
fun.
fun. I'm excited for it. I actually want to see Marvels
Yeah.
until
yeah.
that comment came out.
I mean, like, I could infer it's gonna be wacky and silly. I would actually be thrilled if it remained wacky, silly, and fun, and did not get needlessly tense or heavy at the end.
Yeah, that's the issue with you go back to a Thor Love and Thunder and you
Ooh.
have a movie that's premise is built upon the principle of Ragnarok was a comedy and it did incredibly well.
Yeah.
But Ragnarok balanced the nuance of seriousness to comedy
Yeah.
incredibly so. And then Love and Thunder had arguably, debatably bigger stakes, more personal stakes. Obviously, losing Asgard is a very personal stake, but it's his girlfriend. She's got cancer. We're worried. There's a lot of things happening in this movie. And then they just did not find a way to make it serious in a way that made any sense. And then they went too wacky and too weird. But
Yep.
if this movie's just wacky, funny, and silly, which I don't trust that it can be because I feel like we've yet to get a Carol Danvers that is anything other than I'm here to save the earth.
Well, the trailer
My
does make it look
personality.
like she's more goofing around with it. You know,
Yeah,
like,
it's
Yeah.
like,
again. You know,
I mean,
like-
honestly, like, yeah, her like letting her guard down with these two other characters would be a lot of fun to see. I'm a big Monica Rambeau fan, not as much as like I'm a big fan where I have a tattoo of her on my body somewhere, but I'm just saying like
it's
she's
a big
cool.
giant back tattoo.
It's a
of
back
Monica
tattoo
Rambeau.
of the real Captain Marvel. But no, justice for Photon. But like I'm like, good, keep it up, you know. And Kamala's been wonderful. You know, like I'm so on board for this. I'm glad that they did this instead of going like, no, we can't put all the Captain Marvels in here. We got to do one more Captain Marvel 2, where she goes, oh yeah, for 90 minutes, and instead make it like this fun kind of adventure story. I'm down. I don't
Yeah.
like look. These writers and producers and like Hollywood people, they don't know how to sell a movie.
No,
And
No,
they don't know
I-
what,
and I
and,
think
and they
that's it.
lose their minds when they get in front of a microphone, where they're like, "It's gonna I'm sure you guys saw like the Snow White controversy that's coming out, where they're like,
Rachel Zegler. Yeah, that's been
I
fun.
just like that one.
"Oh,
What is that?
don't worry, the Snow White movie is not gonna be fun.
So-
it's gonna be like self-serious and miserable." And I'm like, "Cool,
Benny, it looks as though Rachel Zegler, who is now playing the live action Snow White, was not media trained for this press junket, or maybe was poorly media trained in like a thing of like they want her to really talk about how this version of Snow White is a feminist movie, but it's like very what's the word? Demeaning feminism. It's not like actual feminism that bolsters up women. It's like Snow White was written in the 40s. Nobody likes Snow White. It sucks. It's actually terrible. I hate the character. This movie's about a girl who's not falling in love with her stalker and she's an independent woman. I think she said the wrong thing a couple
She
times
said
and
the
that's
wrong
been
thing a
clipped
couple times."
severely out of context and it's
Yeah.
cooking her.
No,
But-
for me, like her comments sound more like what I imagine Chris Nolan was saying behind the scenes when he was making Dark Knight Rises, where he's like, I hate Batman. I don't want to make a Batman movie. I want to make a movie about like a city under siege and about like, you know, this other thing.
Yeah.
I need money to make Interstellar. That's why, you know, like I want to make a Batman movie in which Batman is not on screen for the longest time in any Batman movie in history.
Ugh.
Like for me, like that sucks. And it's like the same thing with this with the Snow White thing. But like these folks don't know how to get in front of a microphone and go, "You're really gonna love this movie." Like, you know who's great?
Yeah.
Like these three actors, name them, talk about what makes them distinct and fun and different. Talk about their
That's
dynamic.
actually what I think is going on with the Marvels right now. I got a feeling that as many of us, because if you guys aren't aware and you haven't checked it, if you look at your social media and Twitter, yes, there are directors and there are writers and there are actors on there, but it's a smaller number than just Joe Schmo going on there to complain about things.
Mhm.
And if to me, it sounds like this director is barely on the social medias, doesn't know the current climate of MCU movies, that was like, no, guys, wacky and silly. You all want wacky and silly, right? Like,
right. Like I don't know what the ongoing conversation about the MCU is right now, but I imagine that they're probably sick and tired of silly of
serious,
serious, cool superhero movies. They want something that's going to be more like low stakes. No.
Which I think there's this big issue with maybe Marvel's not gagging their directors enough before like talking about things prior to press or like allowing them of what to say and what not to say, because we're getting so much news headlines based on people finding niche ways to contact directors. Like the director of Secret Invasion won't stop saying the dumbest things and saying things that like the internet's clearly upset about. He doesn't know, but he's like, Rhodey is from Civil War, but he's had no confirmation from Marvel, which is crazy that he can make an entire film and not understand where a character is from in the universe. That blows my mind. But he's the only reason we know that he doesn't know what he's talking about. He just had to keep quiet, and then when they're ready to reveal it, probably in Armor Wars, then we decide whether we hate it or not, right?
Yes.
But he just is running around being like, "Hey guys, he's from Civil War. Remember when he held Tony's face? That was the Skrull. The Skrull really liked Tony too."
Yeah, what? Like. I don't really know what I'm doing or what I'm talking about. And I'm not connected to any of this material, and I couldn't care less. Is that obvious yet?
I feel like that's part of the problem with Marvel in this day and age, because I feel like a lot of the earlier directors had more invested in comics, and they wanted to be like a part of this big movement that Marvel was doing. But more recently, Marvel's just hiring. I mean, I hate to say it, but it reminds me of the military.
Right.
The military would get the lowest bid for a job to get it done, and then that job would take 12 years. You want to know what's going on in Colorado right now? Half the state has road work going on, and it's been going on since they moved out to Colorado 12 years ago. You know why? The lowest bidder is getting the job, and they just don't care, and they're taking their time getting it done. And I feel like that's what we're getting with the director, where they're like, oh, we can give we can give $100,000 to this director, and they know what they're doing, or we can give $50,000 to this director, and they have an idea who Iron Man is. We'll do that. We'll do that.
I'm glad that the directors unions are unionized, and I hope that they have good rates and stuff, and maybe we could like circumvent this now, because we are really getting to a time where we're picking and I don't want to diminish the directors, because I feel like it's some kind of direction given by the studios, because like there's no reason the Russo brothers had any business directing a Captain America movie, let alone a spy thriller. They had done Arrested Development, the TV show about nonsense, and Community, the TV show about nonsense at a community college. I love those shows. The only action they ever directed were the paintball episodes of Community.
Which were
Iconic
great.
episodes of television. Amazing episodes.
The director
they got
for
a AAA movie. Go ahead.
Right. I was going to say, I've just looked up the director for Marvels, because like everyone was talking about her. The only thing on here that she's made a podcast. No. She wrote a book and did one movie that she wrote the screenplay on.
Oh.
Okay.
Which is Candyman. And I think Candyman was the
new Candyman, yeah.
So I'll give her that. But nothing else on here. Like the name of it is, maybe you guys know him. The podcast is Ghost Tape.
No.
The Little Woods is the book, I guess, or a movie she wrote.
Yep.
It's a movie. Okay.
Oh my God.
And she directed that.
And
that's it. Because before that,
problem.
she did shorts in 2014. And then she's only been in the industry officially, if you don't count the shorts, since 2018.
Yeah.
I thought you said shorts, and I was like, she made YouTube shorts before she was doing this, and I lost my
amazing.
mind.
But how do you, and for the record, I don't want to think that I'm bashing Nia DaCosta, I think was her name.
No, exactly.
I'm not bashing her at all. This could mean that she's that incredible, because I didn't even see Candyman, which is weird, because I like horror movies.
We were going to see it. I think it was just the pandemic screwed us up, because I remember we were going to go see it.
It was 2021, so.
Yeah. No, there was a resurgence around that time, and I was like, "Oh man, I'm not going to the movies right now."
And for the record, I'm not against that she could just be that good, and then got this role.
Yeah,
but it does, in the current state of Marvel, it does make me go, That's a little.
Yeah.
Maybe hire like maybe get like a couple of veterans just to like make some like really solid stuff. You know what this is, and it's the same across the board. Like it's the reason why you're like, why is this showrunner on this like $200 million show done like 3 things and none of them are related to what's going on? Why is
Yeah.
this like first time director making this $200 million action movie? Why is this person who made like a school shooting movie that like nobody saw have get an entire Star Wars trilogy? Like, and it's because Hollywood is like, oh, I love doing this because these are like, they always snatch them up from some like festival and they're young, they're idealistic, they got these new ideas, they've got this fresh voice, and that sucks and that's terrible for Hollywood. And Hollywood's like, boo, I hate that. What they want to do is they get those people and then it's like, oh, look at like Variety, look at the like the article about like how innovative we are and how we're like scooping up talent and like, oh man, you remember that like that thing that Twitter loved but nobody watched? Well,
Right.
I've got the writer and they're amazing. Because they are also like, I'm in the new, oh my God, I'm in the industry. Oh my God, I'm finally here. Oh, I've just been hired by Disney to make a massive movie. A veteran director will go into a studio and go, here's my crew, here's my plan, we're doing this. And the studio going, I don't want you to do that. Actually, I want you to write, like, I want you to make this movie open-ended and shoot 3 different endings. Yeah, I'm not going to do that because I made movies for 30 years and I'm not interested in that. Pass.
Yeah.
It's a terrible idea.
Well, I mean, we
Not-
go all the way back to Edgar Wright. and
Yeah,
his Ant-Man.
exactly.
Well,
like,
yeah.
why does Peyton Reed have a name? Like, it came out of nowhere. It's like because he takes direction himself. Because the studio knows they can push these people around and then go, look, you got to take these notes. You got to do this. You got to do that. Like this poor person, I can imagine making the Marvels was a harrowing ordeal for her because they were like, listen, you got to make these concessions. You got to make these decisions because at the end of the day, like we could blacklist you. Like,
Well,
we could
and
just tell you
Marvel-
that
Because
you're
that's the issue
difficult.
with Peyton Reed. Because I mean, notoriously, for those who don't know, Peyton Reed was Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania. Notoriously, that movie has like 5 different endings. It has
Yep.
been massively changed in the way it was written.
I mean,
To the point where
reshot
Jeff Loveness,
1
the
week
writer-
before.
Yeah, like Jeff Loveness is like, look, guys, this is not what I created. Like,
Exactly. I mean, Zeb Wells wrote one of these movies, and like, you know, he's just like, whatever you want me to do, I'll just write it up, and you just tell me how to do it because I just want to have
Well,
the money.
I think and we're talking big directors, studio influence, whatever. Sam Raimi got to direct a Marvel movie, and it wasn't a good movie. Or
Yeah.
depending, I think the Sam Raimi portions of it are cool and visually interesting and like very Raimi-esque. But the confines of this studio right now, as it stands currently,
Yeah.
is very counterproductive to genuine creativity. It's
Yeah.
very bottom line and bottom dollar, which that's not the worst thing. You don't have to spend $300 million on a flick to make $1 billion in profit. You
Nope.
could spend way less with far more creative people, given a longer stretch of time, and make a much better film, probably. But yeah, I'm interested in the Marvels for sure to see where this goes. You never know. This director could be the next Russo brothers. Same way, like they were just picked from the litter of subpar movies and then brought into the fold. Same thing for Taika. Not to say I like what Taika did prior, but I didn't know him super well outside of
No, never heard of
maybe
them.
Jojo Rabbit was before then, but I saw maybe one.
Jojo-
Jojo.
after.
No, I think Jojo Rabbit was during. I don't think it was before, but I did see
Okay.
Jojo. Jojo was good. I liked
JoJo's one of my favorite movies of all time. Our Flag Me Death, I think he's just on that, or he might have a producer credit too. It's really great too. And then they just pulled him, and he made one of the most incredible movies ever. I think when Gunn got fired, they were like, the only director in Marvel's fold that could direct the Guardians now is Taika Waititi. Thank God none of that happened because Guardians
Yeah.
3 is a masterpiece. But
Right.
we'll have to see if this movie is the silly, zany adventure we've all been looking for this summer or winter, whenever it's coming out.
Yeah.
November 10th is the actual date.
Good
Yeah, I
Lord.
bet it comes out like summer of 2024.
Yeah.
You think they're gonna push it back?
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah,
the
the
studio has to
only-
make money, and that was one
Yeah,
of their
here's
done
why.
movies.
Here's why. Because we just had the director come out and she was like, oh, it's going to be zany and fun. And everyone's like, uh-oh, don't say that. Oh, we can't just put you in front of the camera. All right. What we need to do is have the 3 leads on like in director's chairs going like, ah, we're having so much fun. This is this fun chemistry we have. That's palpable and a visual on the screen. But they can't do that and sell the movie right now. And we need to and we need to like make people think they want to go see this thing. And we can't and I saw the trailer and was like, this looks like fun. The
Yeah.
audience that I went with and saw it was like, this does not look like fun. Like I'm
Oh,
seeing
the Marvels?
like,
Well, yeah,
some
I've been
weird
enjoying.
reactions to it.
I've been enjoying it so far, but yeah, the general reaction I'm seeing is, "Oh, this isn't what we wanted." And when I see those reactions,
What did you
it-
want? How did you
Well, that's what I was gonna say. What did you want from the Miss Marvel follow up? Like, because you're
Yeah.
probably the crowd that was like, Miss Marvel. That movie's
Big
horrible.
time. No, yeah, we're not making movies for you. Like nobody wants to make a movie for you. Okay, like you with your
They're trying to
constant
grab the
stream of
Wonder Woman
nonsense.
1 audience. That's what they're trying to grab. That's what they want. But we're going to wrap this up because Sal's had a bit of a run today, so we're going to close it out here. Thank you guys so much for joining us today. I hope you enjoyed. Thank you, Hudson, for being here, and thank you, Sal, for being here.
My pleasure.
And that's it. We're done. Bye.